Hi. Hello.
Hello. Thank you so much. Am I cool?
I'm looking that way, am I?
Sorry. Yeah, you're this way. Hi.
Yeah, hello.
Ready?
All set.
All right. So, one of my big questions is when you're approaching a series like The Wheel of Time, adapting from huge volume of source material, and you've got 14 books of it.
Yeah.
So, there's necessarily going to be changes.
Yeah.
Translating that from a written to a visual video. How challenging is it to avoid kind of the butterfly effect as you would move through the series season by season by season, so that if you make a change in season 1, to avoid deviating too far from the source material?
I'm going to ask that quite simply because that's really a Rafe question. I'm a non-writing EP. So obviously I work very closely with Rafe on the scripts, but, I would say it's definitely a writing question rather than me. I'm sorry, I'm not deflecting in any shape or form. It's just, I think it's a Rafe question. Because he and the writing team, who I work very closely with, they make those decisions. And obviously they were very, very deliberate decisions in every case. And sometimes we've had to make decisions based on circumstance, whether it's COVID or Ukraine war, whatever else has gone on while we've been filming, a writer's strike, we've had to adapt. So I'm sorry, that sounded like a deflection, but I feel it's more a Rafe question than me. Yeah.
We believe you.
Yeah.
Wheel of Time is a project that, I've known to have been in development for a while. I think at one point it was even being considered to be a film.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what the initial reaction was to the pitch when it was time to make this into a series?
Sorry again, I wasn't around at the point they were pitching. I came on in February 19, so I came on after it had been sold to Amazon, and I think from what I understand from the original team who are trying to make it, it's a huge ask to make this, and as a film I would suggest that it's just got too much in it. It needs, we've even said, 8 episodes is not very much for the sheer size of the books and the number of parts. But I think the writing team have been doing an incredible...
What was your reaction when you were asked to join?
Well, I came to it not being a fancy girl, but I now am. So that's saying something.
Okay. Moving in the right direction.
This project. Absolutely passionate about it. It's huge fun, and as you probably know from my career, I've done very large projects, and I was asked to do it by somebody way back when, met Ray, read the treatment and thought, wow, this is huge. And I've had such fun doing it with the people involved, and top down, wonderful. And I'm still on it, sort of 4.5 years later. I think it's such a huge project. Number of casts, the scale of it, the visual effects of it, the costume design of it, creating a new world every time. It's been an extraordinary journey.
Well, speaking of scale, season 1 already started with a pretty big wall. It was a lot of characters.
Yeah.
Season 2 introduced even more characters, more lore, a lot more going on.
Yeah.
And, our main cast is separated. How do you approach, having a story kind of go that much bigger and weaving it in a way that is very, very easy for audiences to sit through and actually watch and have it be a cohesive story despite all of the new things that are happening and all.
Well, I think that's one of our jobs. I mean, it's sort of, it's trying to get the line between, the book fans and an audience of people like myself who are coming new to it and don't know the lore. Because the lore is complicated. Even for me, I still kind of have to ask various people, including Rafe, about character, about the weaves, the different forms of the weaves, the way that it works, the Forsaken come in, all that stuff. It's complicated. So the job is to make sure that it appeals. Not only do we hit book fandom and that we make sure that we have the Easter eggs in there for book fans to follow, but we also have a world that you can follow for somebody who isn't into fantasy. And I think we've done it really successfully. I really do, because I've had friends who aren't watching the show because of me, but have heard about it through word of mouth and texting me going, they love, love, love it. And I'm like, hooray!
Yes,
Sorry.
no. The Wolfstand has a strong female character.
Mm-hmm.
How do you approach presenting their stories and roles in the series?
Any particular female character, or just the fact that we have very strong female? Well, it was one of the things that I loved about the stories, is the fact that, it's not the men aren't strong characters. I always like to think that it's the whole of the point of the wheel is balance, isn't it? But we've been so lucky and come some amazingly strong actresses. And it's a line where, you are always making sure that there's black and white in every single one of those characters. Because in the real world, all of us are the same. So, Lanfear, who I love, and Natasha Keith is having huge fun playing, when she's with Rand, there is genuine love there. And then on the flip side of that, she's, evil. Excuse my French. But none of the characters are black and white, women and men. So there's shades of grey, like there are in us, in everybody. And I think the female characters, I love the fact that they're sort of strong, manifold, positive, trying to balance the world, make it a good place to be. Is that answer all right?
Well, just to backtrack a little bit, congratulations on now being a fantasy girl. That was very much music to my ears.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I love it.
Now that you have this experience, how has this show changed you as an executive producer? Are you now looking or more open to doing fantasy projects, or are you still trying to have more variety?
I think me personally,
Yeah.
I'm loving doing this project with these people. I would have left if I moved on because I'm freelance, but I'm absolutely loving working with these people. A terrific bunch of people, and we're all away. We're all in Prague as a base, so you become a family, cast and crew. Would I do another fantasy show? I don't know. I mean, I like to have new challenges all the time, so I might not. If it was another fantastic show, if this keeps going, I was telling this because I love the people and I love the project. So, yeah, I do genuinely love Wheel of Time.
Like you mentioned earlier, some of the challenges of producing, like dealing with national conflict and COVID.
Yeah.
2023 has obviously been an exceptional year with the writer's strike and ongoing actor strike. From a production standpoint, how difficult is that for you when there's everything is out of your control, and you've got a show that is really starting to hit its stride, and then that progress and momentum kind of gets derailed with something like this? How do you account for that, juggle the getting into things?
You would pretend that it hasn't been hard. They're back down, which we're thrilled about, the writers anyway. We were very lucky because we got all 8 scripts before the strike started. So has it been difficult? Yeah, you wouldn't pretend that it hasn't been, because we didn't have any of the writers, able to change scripts or, but we kept going. And I'm to say, we're still filming and it looks unbelievable. And the story is great. So I'm hoping that we will deliver despite all the difficulties. And our actors were able to keep working with one of the only shows that could, because they were on equity contracts rather than the SAG contracts. So they were legally allowed to work. So we were one of only very few shows that were able to keep going, basically. But the writers were not working in this team. So, yeah, we kept going. And they were thrilled. We kept going.
Is there anything you can tell us about season 3? Kind of seeing how the story seems to be going in a more kind of darker, more dangerous with any of the news.
Can possibly comment. You have to wait. All I can say is it's very exciting season. It's going to be amazing, even bigger, even it's it's quite something what we're shooting at the moment. So yeah, I'm excited for you to see it. It's going to be a while. It's still got a way to go.
I think I wanted to back up a little. We've heard a lot about what the writers go through. We've heard a lot about what the actors go through. Can you talk a little bit about some of the challenges that producers go through during these strikes?
Well, I think going back to during the strikes, obviously we couldn't change anything. So normally we'd go through various drafts of scripts and we work on with the writers and say, okay, well, we can't actually do that. We're going to do this. So we've had to kind of make it work. And we have, which I'm very proud of. So everything from, where we shoot, how many and background artists we have. There's stuff that we could kind of interpret. The script is still there, but instead of having 300 extras, we add 100 extras or whatever it is. In terms of world building, we had to build the world that was written. So, it's been very challenging, but all of the departments have been amazing in terms of, working with us and making it happen. But it's been challenging, I think, for everybody. But we were able to work, which is very unusual in the times that we've just been through. And I'm just thrilled that Rafe's back. Really good.
For one more.
Okay. I love the way you answer all the questions. I feel you really love this project. Do you feel now you're a fan and you can know what the fans want about this show?
Awesome. I like to think I do, but I think we're never going to keep everybody happy because, it's 8 episodes a season, and we have to make choices. I love the choices we make, that Rafe makes, but it's difficult. It's a thin line. I like to think that we're going to keep the book fans happy, even if we deviate from the books, but not in a major way. I think the important fundamental thing is what the characters are. I'm all about the characters and developing them, so we follow them. And I think we'd stick to the books with that. And then I'm also a huge fan of getting people who would never watch a show like this normally to watch it and fall in love with it. That's what I would say.
And we send it to them.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.